That's a lot of books. I'm Evan Day, the Young Adult Librarian. Welcome to Fandom Friday, where we talk about something that we are a fan of. Well, I've talked about comics several times here, and one thing I've noticed is that if don't know much about comics at all, or just want to get into it, it can be hard to know where to start. Well, you just seem like there's a whole bunch of stuff here. But hey, all the blockbusters and TV shows that you seem to like, from Walking Dead or Invincible or Boys, seem to have be based on comics. So maybe I want to get into them as well. Well, if you just like those shows, then yeah, go hop back and read those particular comics. But if I like the Spider-Man movies, or I just want to read like a fantasy comic in general, I might not know where to start. Those go back like decades, right? Well, I'm here to give you just a general rundown of comics. I've done something similar, and there are a lot of really good movies and books, videos like this on YouTube or other places. I could also give you just a brief hint that don't be afraid to use Wikipedia to look up information, especially if you're trying to get into a particular comic series and don't know what's happening. Okay, but I'm just going to go ham and give you a whole bunch of comic recommendations really fast that might be helpful for somebody who is just getting into comics. Okay, sounds good? Hold on. We'll put a list down below for all these things when we post this. But if you want to take notes, you may want to pause the video as you go along. All right, ready? Here we go. Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud is great for just learning about comics as sequential art and nonfiction as well. But Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud, definitely check that out if you have any interest in comics as an idea. Superhero comics, Batman Year One by Frank Miller, Batman Court of Owls by Scott Steiner. If you're into Spider-Man, read Ultimate Spider-Man by Brian Bendis and Mark Bagley, or start with Ultimate Spider-Man Miles Morales if you're into the Spider-Verse stories. Wonder Woman, anything by Greg Rucka. Man of Steel by John Byrne if you're into Superman. Also, check out All-Star Superman by Grant Morrison, Superman Smashes the Klan by Gene Luen Yang, and Superman Birthright by Mark Waid. If you're into the X-Men, I would recommend Astonishing X-Men by Joss Whedon. Captain America, I would recommend Captain America's run under Greg Brubaker, starting with the Winter Soldier value. Hawkeye by Matt Fraction. Shadow of the Batgirl by Sarah Kuhn is a nice graphic novel that you could check out as well. Runaways by Brian Vaughn for teen superheroes. They're teenagers who find out their parents are supervillains and they might have superpowers too. Brian Vaughn wrote the first volumes, now it's being continued by Rainbow Rowell. Avengers stories. I like Avengers Ultra and Unlimited. Check that out. Just good, pure Avengers fighting giant robots action. Justice League. I like Justice League New World Order by Grant Morrison. That's sort of a basic Justice League story. Or fantasy and science fiction. Star Wars books. Star Wars by Jason Aaron. The new Vader books by Charles Soule as well. Amulet by Katsugubushi, fantastic series, appropriate for middle school and up for sure, or lower. Mouse Guard by David Pearson, mentioned it several times here, fantastic artwork, very much in the Redwall style of storytelling, but beautifully done. Go check out his YouTube page if you like his books too. Creature Tech by Doug TenNapel, fantasy, science fiction, humorous. Bone by Jeff Smith, award-winning kids series, but very well done books. Usagi Yojimbo by Stan Sakai. I've mentioned this several times, okay? But Usagi Yojimbo is a fantastic book. Courtney Cronin by Ted Nave, that series for horror and for just dark fantasy. History books, They Call This Enemy by George Takei, March by John Lewis, and Moz by Art Spielman. Books that are just fun. Smile by Rita Telgemeier, also anything by Rita Telgemeier as well. Recommended to me Dodging Critters by Natalie Rice. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. I also really like Unbelievable Gwenpool by Chris Hastings. Also recommended to me a cute story Tea Dragon Society by Kay O'Neill. Slightly different if you heard about the movie from a couple years back, Scott Pilgrim by Brian Lee O'Malley. American Born Chinese by Gene Luen Yang. Fantastic. I've talked about it several times here. It's a good series as well. Manga, that could be its own separate video, but the short of it, I think a good starting point for some people would be Full Metal Alchemist, My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, or Case Closed if you're into mysteries, or Fruits Basket if you're looking for something on the romantic side. Uh, just a personal rundown of personal faves from Evan here. Usagi Yojimbo, Amulet, American Born Chinese, Mouse Guard, Creature Tech, Unbelievable Gwynpool, and Calvin and Hobbes. So yeah, that's your quick rundown of books that I would recommend to somebody who is just getting into comics. Anyway, I'll leave a list of those books down below, and leave your suggestions for what books got you into comics or that you might recommend. Thank you, and have a great weekend.